instinct over intellect. Just because you can rationalize something doesn't mean that it should be right. And it's a quote from, not a quote, it's a line from Killian Murphy, one of my favorite actor, in an interview talking about like what were the kind of things that helped him the most throughout his journey. And I really resonate with this line a lot just because how deeply we relate, we can go, and how far we can go when we rely on instinct and the things that you can just naturally do, instead of when you try to just step by step look at it and like overthink every single part of it. Just like I talked about in my YouTube channel about how flow state, just like doing it instead of thinking. And in order to put it simple, you just gotta first try it, and then you get into this zone. You zone in. You start zoning in, and you just like don't. You become so oblivious about anything but that one particular thing, and that's when your brain is used in its maximum potential, and that's when you learn the most. And most of the times I feel like we all try to see things first. Like I mean by see, like we try to over like think about it first. Like how much time would it take? How much of willpower would it take? How much of like me trying to grind? Like how many days will it take? You know, all the kind of things. We just first think of the resources that we need to put in before even actually giving it a try. And I think that's when everyone, I mean, like 90% of people just don't even give it a crack after overthinking about it. Like I've overthinking about it for so long time. So in their mind, they already failed. In their mind, they already saw all the outcomes. They think that they already saw all the outcomes, and it's not worthwhile trying. But instead of doing it, and you look at the people who just give it a go. It's not like they have some kind of superpower, or like they have different kinds of minds, or like at least mindset, yes, but like it's not like they are special in any ways. They just do it in a sense like I've got nothing to lose kind of mindset. But also it doesn't even come across like it, they don't even, those kind of thoughts don't even cross their mind. They just see it and just do it first, because they understand through their experiences that doing it actually is just the best way to actually feel it. And I talked about this in my previous video about love, talking about love, and how my isolation kind of made me think about love in a way that's not appealing to me. And again, like just like we describe love and describe things that we feel, so feelings the first feelings, everything about like we do is like first we like feelings, what comes first, what lands in our mind first. So when you're trying to think about the thing that what would happen if I do that, the best way to know what would happen, and the best way to know if you're actually talented at it, or like the best way to know if you suck at it, or like anything, is actually just giving it a crack. Just because nothing, like not amount of knowledge and intellect, and even the greatest minds, or like like the greatest, the top 10 people who's the best at it in human history comes to you and like try to preach you about the subject. Not it's like all that like combined amounted will not even come close to having one try. That's why like I love this line. Like, it's not even a line or quote, like we use it every day nowadays. It's like um words can only express much. You just got to give it a go. Sometimes you will learn so much more than just sitting in your room and like overcomplicating the things, and like you just feel like you just feel like it's something that hard to, that difficult to overcome, or like you gotta first do this and that. So you're like, oh no, you know what, I can't do it. I'm just gonna leave it there, you know. Just like how I started my YouTube channel now, I'm not saying it's going like it's being successful in any sense, like objectively, but personally, it's becoming a very good adventure and journey for me, since it wasn't something that I thought I could even do, you know. I didn't even start questioning um when I started doing my YouTube channel, because it really felt like I have to do this. And it's not like I didn't question before when I was younger. I always had this in my mind, like one day I do want to be a YouTuber, or like just someone who talks about his stuffs online. And I'm glad I gave it a go, since once you start, you'll just get the result. You know, no matter how bad it is, you just look at the result. And since you gave it a try, and you look at it honestly, you look at it objectively, you see the points, the parts where you have to change, where you have to improve, and you see, like, you keep on improving on those parts, and you see your improvements. And that's exactly the kind of thing that improves you and motivates you every single day, that makes you wonder what would happen tomorrow. Like, it like, I sound superstitious if I say this, but like, looking at the numbers that goes up and down, oh, like, let's say, like, how many people reacted, like how many people viewed my previous video, kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be like in correlate to how much how good I'm doing when I'm succeeding or not. Because at the end of the day, like, if it has just started, like, oh, I always talk to myself when it comes to anything that I'm doing, until I stop questioning about myself. And that's exactly, this is just the beginning, this is just a journey, this is just the beginning. And what happens if I keep talking to myself that way is like, you just keep on going, this is just the beginning. Okay, I failed, this is just the beginning. Okay, I kind of did better than, like, relatively better than other videos, or like other things that I've done. Well, it's just the beginning, just keep on going, man. Like, like, okay, I know you're excited, I know, oh, like, I know you're kind of disappointed, but it's just a beginning. I really like this, because once you reach to the point where you are better than 99% of the people, like average people I'm talking about, obviously, you don't question it anymore. You don't really take it as serious as you would before, because you have so many, you accumulated this vast data over time. Like, you just did it every single day. Like, sometimes without even knowing, like, you just autopilot it. Sometimes you logged in. Sometimes, you have this, amounted, years of experiences and time that's amounted into this one thing. And even if you fail one, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, you're sure that you failed so many times before, and you don't even remember it anymore. So that's also the part that I really like about, like, just following your instinct, just following your, it sounds like kind of hedonism, just following your feelings and just like be dominated by it. Of course, that's not what I mean. The very very key difference is knowing your instinct and knowing, like, exactly what to do. And, like, just hedonism is all about kind of being dominated by your pleasures, not the feelings or the instinct. Instincts will always tell you the other thing, the when you're trying to, do all the kind of like drugs, or like you want to hang out with your friends and like have some drinks with them, or like I mean, casino. I'm talking about drugs so many times. Or like, you get what I mean. Like, your instinct is screaming every single time when you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, and you know it exactly. Some even call this voice inside you, like the monologue that you have it yourself, God. But like, it's not something that I would think it as. I think it's just like you knowing exactly you inside you that's um objectively analyzing and looking at the problem and looking at the situation. Another thing that I think you'll get a lot from just following your instinct, rather than like raw intellect, is it becomes extremely easier for you to act once you kind of habituated. Once it becomes your habit, once it becomes part of your skill, it's much easier for you to just go and do it than when you first start kind of being aware of this and you try to do it. But like, also, like, it's your thoughts. You cannot suppress thoughts. just like you're just like you can't, it's really difficult to shut you up when before going to bed. Like, you're gonna struggle. I'm not saying it's easy at all. Like, putting things simples, putting a complex thing simple is the hardest part. Is the old is where all the suffering and difficulties come from. Once it gets simple, like obviously it's gonna be easy since you put it simple and you just gotta follow it. You just gotta send it. You know. So yeah, that's my thought about it. Thank you for watching.